Now, let's look at the key words for a proportion. A proportion is a fraction that is equivalent to another fraction. Proportions can be solved using tables, like this, where the numerator and the denominator are added to each other over and over and over again until you get to the result that you want to get to. Proportions can be solved using equivalent fractions, like this, where the original fraction is multiplied by the same number for the numerator and the denominator. And that's how you get the result that you want to get to. Proportions can also be solved using cross products. Cross products is when you circle the numbers that are across from each other, like the 2 and the 12, or the 3 and the 8, and you multiply them. 2 times 12 equals 24. 3 times 8 equals 24. And if you have the same result, then that is a proportional. Those are two proportional fractions. Proportional questions usually have 3 numbers that are relevant to the problem, and the goal is to find the missing piece. A proportion also compares 2 things. If you look inside this box, all of these words indicate that you're going to be using a proportion. If you are predicting rates, or if you are predicting ratios, you need to use a proportion. If there is a measurement conversion, use a proportion. If it's a percent application problem, use a proportion. The words rate, ratio, unit rate, use a proportion. These ones have blanks with them. That means they're in between 2 different numbers. So it might say 3 miles per minute, or 3 out of every 4 boys eat their boogers, or for every 2 cats at the veterinarian's office, there are 5 dogs at the veterinarian's office. All of these words indicate that you need to use a proportion. All right, now let's go ahead and get to that problem. In this problem, we have some key words. It says 714 points in 2 days. Those are some key words. A number in another number. We're comparing points and days. That means that we might need to use a proportion. Another word that indicates we need a proportion is the word rate. If he continues at the same rate, that's a proportion word. The third clue is that there are 3 numbers in the problem. We use the word rate, there's 3 numbers, we're comparing points and days. We definitely need to use a proportion. Now we are going to continue using our HIAS strategy. So let's continue doing that. For H, we highlighted the word rate and we highlighted 714 points in 2 days. And you know what? I don't have that highlighted right here, so I'm going to go ahead and take a moment because I need, if I say that I'm highlighting them, I need to highlight them. Those words need to be highlighted. There we go. 714 points in 2 days. That is my rate. Due to my clues, I can identify my process as a proportion. If I'm writing a proportion, you see how 714 points in 2 days, they're together in the same sentence connected by the word in, which is our key word? We're going to set up a fraction comparing those two things. So our algorithm starts with a fraction, 714 points as the numerator, 2 days as the denominator. And that's going to be equivalent to another fraction. Now we have 10 days as our third number. 10 days should line up with 2 days because our labels go together. 2 days is in the denominator. So when I write my algorithm, 10 days is also in my denominator, but in my secondary fraction. My variable s is going to go on top in my numerator, and that s is going to represent the solution for how many points Mario will earn in 10 days. Whoa. Whoops. Now, for my solution, in order to figure out my solution, we can solve using a table, using equivalent fractions, or cross products. But I'm going to start out with the table. We need to have our points as a label in one of our parts of the table and our days as a label in another section of our table. And we know that we had 714 points, goes under points, into days. That goes under days. So let's add 714 in the points column over and over and over. 714 plus 714 is 1,428. 1,428 plus 714 is 2,142. 2,142 plus 714 is 2,856. 2,856 plus 714 is 3,570. We also need to add our days repeatedly over and over and over. We started with 2 days, so 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. And 8 plus 2 is 10. So this means that in 2 days, Mario will earn 714 points. In 4 days, Mario will earn 1,428 points. In 6 days, Mario will earn 2,142 points. In 8 days, Mario will earn 2,856 points. And in 10 days, ding, 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 where we want it to be, Mario will earn 3,570 points. So my solution is not 10. We needed to get to 10 days, but we don't need 10 days. We need to know the points. And so across from 10 days is 3,570 points. Now let's check our answer. It's a rate. We used a proportion. My points line up with my points. My days lined up with my days. I needed 10 days, and I chose the number that was next to 10 days. So I answered in points. Let's also look at, is this answer reasonable? Now, 10 days is a lot more than 2 days. So it seems to reason that my answer should be a lot more than 714. Looks about right. 2 times 5 is 10, and 700 times 5 is 3,500, We're really close to 3,500, so that looks like a reasonable answer.